What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another quickie. My name is JJT with our commish Eric. We're at the tail end of week, a very long week 18.
Yeah.
I was thinking tomorrow would be the judgment day, but apparently today's just Saturday. I thought tomorrow was a Monday already. But it's a very long week 18. But yeah, we're at the tail end of it. Kamish, how are you?
Yeah. I'm fine. Week 18, as you said, only week with 8 playing days in fantasy. So, and a lot of games. So whoever wins in your matchup really deserves to win. There's no luck factor here because a lot of games.
Well, I've had leagues wherein the disparity in the number of games is still a lot. Like, I think some of the games are 4 games, 5 games, which is a lot already. So nothing we can do really about it. It's hard to go week by week. You win some, you lose some, like Komish always says. But yeah, let's talk about some of the news today. I guess the biggest name today is OG.
Yeah, OG, I guess. It's OG.
OG Anunoby. Out for no timeline. Well, I don't think they gave a timeline here.
No timeline, and it's a very vague situation. He actually practiced in full with contact and with shooting before yesterday, but said that it's bothering him, the finger.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be bad. If the specialist decides a surgery or whatever, then it could be out for the season or anything. But it could also be like he can play through it. So it can
I've read that he's been playing through it for the past few games already. It's not like it's a new injury, it's an old injury. I guess they decided to give him a rest or rest it a bit today. We don't know.
The report it has been bothering him really, more. So maybe they are consulting a specialist. So let's see what will happen. Hopefully they will have a more clear timeline or anything compared to Paul George, So
yeah, before we go to Paul George, I think OG is one of those disappointing fantasy players this season.
Very.
I'm sure lots of OG owners are very disappointed and would have rather had Siakam at the later rounds than or even Scotty Barnes, who's probably had a better fantasy season than OG this year.
OG was picked in the 4th round, I think.
Yeah.
Third to fourth, something like that.
Yeah, and during those rounds, players like DeJounte are there.
Yeah.
Right? DeJounte, maybe your Garlands are there. I mean, a lot of Josh right there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
In hindsight,
actually, you could have had. I think Robert Williams was just near his draft position also. Robert Williams and some bigs there. Jonas Valanciunas, Clint Capella. They were near his draft range. They were near his draft range.
So you add him there to the one of the more disappointing players. Although he's played, but also that's another thing. He's played, but he hasn't played as much. I mean, he's been injured pretty much the whole season.
He's been injured with a hip pointer thing now, with his broken finger, with some other COVID and everything.
Yeah.
So he's not been able to get the momentum that he needs, and he has not stepped up his game. The expectations that we had that he will be, getting more offensive role, probably help with the rebounding. Well, the Scotty Barnes situation didn't help him either. So one of the biggest losers, and I have one OG in the team that has a Dame Lillard. So, second team down the drain, I guess.
Not the year. You mentioned about Paul George. Well, well, a non-update, I guess. Well, the good update there is that Ty Lue said he's getting better.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
What?
Non-update. Read what I said. It's the newest MRI has come out.
Yeah.
It's not only gonna look at your elbow and your body. It's gonna look at your emotions, your feelings, how you're feeling, how everything. They could check your how you're feeling. So the
Yeah,
MRI actually just the results. It's great, when we go for an MRI, the doctor will say, "Oh, good news, you're feeling better." That's what the MRI said. That's
yes.
perfect, right? I
Yes.
mean, why don't they say what exactly is how he's feeling? But I just put it there that I'll drop him. I don't know about you. If you have him,
Well, I only
pick
have
me,
one.
I'll drop him.
Well, I only have one stock of Paul George, and probably that's my worst team this year. The Invitationals. I'm second to the last, I think, in that, and that's the only. I think of all the leagues I'm managing, that's the second team that's currently out of the playoffs. And that's the worst, I guess. I probably have two teams currently from the outside looking in. So those other teams outside of the playoff contention, they're still within the range. This one is totally out of it. So I'm not making moves anymore. I don't make as
Yeah,
much.
but
I just make small
if
moves.
you're in fighting chance, would you drop him at this point? Would you recommend them to drop Paul
Uh,
George?
yeah. If there's other players there, let others. And the Clippers are doing well enough. I mean, this is a reverse tanking as well. I mean, their other players are doing well enough for them to compete without Paul George. And they'll probably make the play in at least. So no,
And
there's incentive to play him, but the incentive to play him is not now.
they what report was, if he was given the go signal, he would need 2 weeks, right? 1 or 2 weeks to practice. He wasn't given the go signal, although he was given the feeling good signal. So if it's like one more week before he's gonna practice, it's probably gonna be week 22 or 23. I really doubt we'll see him this year. I don't think we'll see enough of him to hold him at this point.
Yeah, and it looks like all this update is saying is that there is a chance he plays again this season. Maybe the playoffs, maybe a few games before the playoffs. And it looks like it doesn't require surgery like we initially thought, that that's the worst case scenario, that he'll have surgery. So I think that's what they're saying here. He's good enough not to need surgery at this point.
I will not. I will not agree with that. I feel he will get surgery at the end of the season. That's my take. He will get surgery, but they're just delaying it. They're trying to see if he can delay it as much as possible. But I feel he's gonna get surgery at some point.
Why should they delay it? Well, because there's a chance he still gets better and plays the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason
And
why.
and if they get the surgery at the end of the season, he's gonna be ready for the next season anyway, because I read that the injury can be, I think, 3 months, 2 to 3 months. So there's time before the next season, so they could delay it.
Yeah. So yeah, more injuries. Well, that's Paul George. Yeah, I could also see him as a drop already at this point of the season. Other injuries, Derrick Rose, coach's best man. Well, how do we say this? We initially thought Derrick Rose would benefit from would be the one benefiting without who's their starting guard, Kemba.
Kemba.
But looks like Alec Burks could be a good play for an extended time, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, I guess.
Rose's injury is actually not related to the ankle; it's a skin infection. So too bad for Tibbs. 1 or 2 weeks, reportedly, Quentin Grimes dislocated his kneecap, so he's probably out for the season. So 2 of Tibbs' favorite players are out. Probably a nightmare season for Tibbs also. It's not his year. And right now, I don't see... of course, Alec Burks, you have to add him. Even if not too good a game today, but you have to add him. If you're in a 20-team league, maybe Emmanuel Quickly probably gonna get more minutes. But I'm looking at Miles McBride. If in case the next season goes wherever, as into the garbage can, if McBride is given 20 to 25 minutes, he's somebody who you should add if he
Yeah.
gets consistent minutes.
Then another oldie guard also hurt. Rajon Rondo after a good game was it the other day or yesterday?
Yeah. The other game.
Yeah. Is out 1 to 2 weeks, and that means more chance for Brandon Goodwin. We don't know what's the status of Garland at this point. He is out
He's
for
out.
tomorrow's game, so at least until tomorrow, Goodwin should be a good play. I'm not sure how long Garland would be out, but yeah, I think that's the bigger question mark. I mean, not a lot owns Rondo. This is just a news that would allow you to add a streamer like Goodwin for tomorrow's game. But the bigger question would be Darius Garland when he comes back. Kevin Porter Jr., and lots of guards in the list. Kevin Porter Jr.'s injury, another injury. At this point, injury is another problem of Kevin Porter Jr., not just the turnovers, not just the inefficiencies. Looks like he couldn't get himself healthy enough this season.
Yeah. In the good news here, the injury was actually it's a bad roll of the ankle. It looked bad, but he was able to stay in the game for a while, and then he said he couldn't go on. So good, it could be good or bad, but the way it looked, it didn't look good. So he could be missing time. And if Dennis Schroeder is somehow floating in your wires, he should be starting in the next few games, maybe.
Yeah. Would you rather have Schroeder or Goodwin?
I'd rather have Schroeder. I'd rather have Schroeder than Goodwin. Though Goodwin, I think for the next few games will be better than possibly better. But as you said, we don't know what Garland's status is.
Yeah.
So he can easily play the game after tomorrow, and then you just have one game of Goodwin. That's the reason why Rondo only played a few minutes. Didn't play a lot in the second half yesterday because of the injury. So I feel bad because you beat me in DFS because of that. If that didn't happen, Goodwin would not have gotten the 20-something points.
Don't worry. I got beat today badly as well. Josh Giddey missed today's game.
Yeah.
So it looks like this is the start. This could be the start. I mean, I didn't hear any injury. What's his injury?
Sore hip.
Okay.
Maybe too much action off the court or whatever. But I don't know. It's very vague. What the coach said was it's been bothering him for a long time also. So maybe that was the reason with the minutes restriction before or something. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to wait for SGA to come back and let him rest a bit. And it's a back-to-back also today. So it's possibly a rest.
So it's important for us to see where this goes. This could be a trend, a start of a trend. Hopefully not though. We're still a little early. Hopefully not, but this could be the start of a trend of him missing some back-to-backs in the future.
Hopefully not. I'm optimistic because he's an 18-year-old rookie who they should have motivation to play. So hopefully it's not.
Well, this is in relation to him saying that he might need they might need to scale back his minutes, right? We had reports a few weeks ago about it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll wait and see. Let's talk about some news. Rotation news first. Indiana's rotation news. So now we finally see not yet a complete, but we are still waiting on Miles Turner, but at least a development here where Isaiah Jackson plays. He starts over Goga. He looked good. He got 2 blocks right off the bat, and he finished with 5 blocks. He had 17 points. And how many rebounds did he have? I think he had 6 or 7 rebounds.
6 rebounds, yeah. Until Miles comes back, Jackson should start. I have a feeling that Jackson will continue to start even when Miles comes back with the way he's playing. Jackson is a very, very fantasy-friendly guy. Reminds me of a smaller Mitch Robinson. This guy when he was a rookie. He blocks
Hopefully, that
very well.
Mitch Robinson comparison is only on the stat sheet and not really on the injury front. Because
Well,
he didn't have a good start. I mean, Isaiah
so far
Jackson
until
didn't
so
have a
far
good
he's
start.
been injured. He's been injured most of the time also, like Mitch
Yeah.
Robinson. So but I will prefer Isaiah over Brissett and then Jalen
Yeah.
Smith. I'll put it that way. Brissett and Smith. Brissett is starting, so I will go with Brissett first. But Jalen Smith has his own, special skills, 3 pointers and blocks, a hard combo to get. But the more minutes is Brissett, and he's getting you got 10 points, 15 rebounds today. Now Miles Turner will come back. When Miles comes back, I still feel all
Let's
four of
talk
them.
again.
Yeah,
That's the
but I
time
think all four of them will still have value. Maybe Jalen will be the guy who will be affected the most when Miles comes back.
well, the guy who has been affected the most is Goga.
Now he's done.
So yeah, I mean, he is the guy that's affected the most. Became a potentially starter to a fourth string guy, and eventually off the rotation already. So yeah,
I give a lot of credit to Rick Carlisle for doing this, for seeing that Goga is not better than any of those guys. Clearly.
Yeah. And another thing about Indiana, they started Healed as well today. They started
Brogdon.
Healed and with Brogdon also playing. So at least we see that, because we initially thought that maybe Healed comes off the bench, just because he usually plays a shooting guard role, and they still have Haliburton there. But yeah, they started 3 guards right off the bat. So
and Halley had a decent line by the end, but it was helped by the overtime. Brogdon didn't play already at the end. He was capped at 30. After the 30 minutes, he didn't play. But before that, Halley's stat line wasn't good. He wasn't getting a lot of assists and points and everything. So watch out for that. It looks like it's gonna affect him a little. The Brogdon thing.
Another year-long discussion has been the Washington center rotation, and today there was some changes again. Daniel Gafford started today over Thomas Bryant, although Thomas Bryant, I think, was kind of had an injury, a minor injury, and was game time decision. So that might have some effect on why Gafford started. We still don't know. I think there's nothing definite here. We are still waiting for Kristaps as well.
Yeah. They're waiting for Kristaps, but the coach already said that they were about to make a change in the starting lineup. So this one, I think, is a permanent one.
Hopefully for Gafford owners, this is a permanent one.
I mean, not permanent one. This one is permanent while Kristaps is out. When Kristaps comes back, and they're gonna change it again for sure.
Yeah. Also, Bryant hasn't been bad. When he starts, he's not bad. He's not good as well. I mean, but you can stream him from time to time, I guess, if he plays and he starts. Gafford though didn't play. Was okay.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting today. Isaiah Jackson was the more exciting player today, not really Gafford. Lots of by players on the Washington side. Raul Neto has been really good, and I guess this closes the discussion on who starts and who is more valuable fantasy wise between him and Ish Smith. Looks like Neto is the guy who's gonna start.
Ish wasn't bad either. Ish was also good, but Neto had a good finishing kick to have a better stat line. As I said, I picked up Neto to replace Chris Paul. So if he's gonna do this every game,
that's fine. That's fine. If he's gonna go, just 3/4 of what Chris Paul is. Actually, the numbers he gave today were kind of close to Chris Paul. Like 22 points, 9 assists. Chris Paul gives those numbers a lot as well. Right? I mean, Chris Paul is great, but he doesn't really give you every day 14, 15 assists, right? Sometimes he gives you 9. So this is solid.
But who are we kidding here? We're just making ourselves happy. But we know this is not gonna be anywhere sustainable. But as I said, 6 or
I
7
think
assists.
Neto, yes, yeah, like a 6 or 7 assists would be okay, and one
Yes.
or two steals per game.
Even just one steal, 6 or 7 assists, maybe 10
No,
points.
let's make
I'll
it
put.
two.
That part is the part that I think won't be consistent. Probably one a game. One a game would be good already for him. And the Ish Schmidt thing, I don't think will ever go away. Ish's been
Yeah.
playing very well. Ish has also been playing very well. So there's still that threat for Neto.
Another wizard is Denny Avdia, who is a favorite ad over the past 2 weeks. Yeah, solid. Has he been playing guard as well, point guard?
Not point guard. He's been playing his usual position.
Right.
But he has been getting more minutes. He's getting 28 to 30. Today he got 30, but it was an overtime game. But usually at the high 20s, usually his minutes in the high 20s.
Yeah. In case you're wondering who replaces Anthony Davis, well, Dwight Howard played well today. Double-double, big double-double.
If you watched our DFS show, we did mention Dwight Howard. We actually gave a recommendation to Dwight today, and I didn't expect him to play this well.
Now, the question is, will this stick? Because we all know that, Lakers play around with their lineups a lot. Monk didn't start today.
Yes. He's in my worry players actually today.
So, is that going to stick? I mean, Monk not starting.
I think it's gonna be matchup thing, and the Clippers have a traditional center, so
yes,
Dwight played. But I think Dwight will. Majority of the time, I think Dwight will start. But remember the last time this happened, Dwight started, but he played like 10 minutes or 8 minutes in some games, even while he's starting. So I don't think it's gonna be consistent. But and I don't think he's gonna be this good. I mean, he had a double-double by the early.
Would you rather have O'Shea, Brissett, or Dwight?
O'Shea, Brissett.
Jalen Smith.
Jalen. Still Jalen. I don't trust that Dwight will be consistent and would continue this. But Dwight, for the deeper leagues, yes, you can go pick him up and see.
Or Hartenstein.
Hartenstein. I also put Hartenstein there. I still pick Hartenstein. Dwight is a rebounds guy. The blocks aren't even there anymore lately. So Hartenstein by a mile.
All right. Other buy players. Well, there's a lot of buy players. Dwight Powell is another guy. If you need efficiencies, he's the guy there in Dallas so far. And I think Kleber didn't play well today.
He was okay. 2 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, 3-3-3-4, 3-3-4-2-2. I mean, yeah. These two guys are very good roto guys, actually.
They are. But, for head-to-head, though, they can be annoying to own. Although Dwight is more efficient in terms of the, field goal. Kleber, if he's having an off-shooting night. But he can contribute some threes. Steals and blocks better. Yes. If you're looking for threes and the stocks, you go Kleber. If you're looking for scoring, some more rebounding, maybe you go and higher field goal, you go Dwight Powell, and low turnovers. I guess you pick your guy depending on what you need in your matchup.
If you're punting points, Kleber is a good player there. Or if you're not punting points, don't pair him with Jared Vanderbilt or a Tybull. He's kind of a Royce O'Neal or a Dorian Finney-Smith. Players who won't score but would help in the other categories. He's one of those guys.
Yep. We didn't talk about James Harden's first game.
Yeah, James Harden.
So did you like what you saw, or at least from
very much
price?
Yeah, I loved what I saw from Harden. Very, very slim, very, very active. The pairing with Embiid seems like a good fit, and he was even moving without the ball. And I don't know how long this will last, but as we know, I told you.
That's
I told you
my
with James
question.
Harden. When he gets traded, the first month or so is gonna be like honeymoon period. It's gonna be the best James Harden.
Yeah.
That's why I told you that yesterday in the other show, and I think that's gonna be what will happen. for the next few weeks or month at least.
Well, hopefully the next month. I mean, even until the next month, because that's when playoffs start, and a lot of James
Yes.
Harden owners would want him to do this every night, and Embiid is happy. So let's
Yes.
see. He said he hasn't had a teammate like James Harden. Well,
True.
so we'll see because he's had lots of open shots, as he said. Yeah, let's move on to some worry players. Maybe I'll pick one. There's a few here. Well, speaking of James Harden, Tobias Harris, another, this is Tobias is in the, I think that range of players, a lot also disappointed in that range. I mean, OG, Tobias, Chris
Holmes.
Middleton is a little, he is okay,
Yep.
but not really the type of, it looks like, not as good as the past Chris Middleton. Holmes is
Rishon.
another,
Yeah.
yeah, Rashawn Holmes. Those are in the same range pretty much. Although, of course, within that range, there are guys like we said, Dejounte and lots more guys who has been playing really well. But yeah, Tobias. I think this is big for Tobias because James Harden could eat up a lot of his usage.
Well, I'll put Maxi here, but Maxi had a great game today, so he was in my feel good. But actually,
And
he's in my feel good.
it was a lopsided game.
Yeah, he was in my feel good that I feel like he should be in a worry still. Tobias has to shoot the ball well for him to have value. Today he was 2 out of 9. He should be at least 5 out of 9 and then 2 3-pointers or something like that and get 15, 16 points. I think that's the best case scenario for him with Harden there. The
Yeah.
rebounds, I mean, Harden eats rebounds. He doesn't steal or block well, so I don't know where else he can find value with Harden there. So he has to shoot well to get the
Yeah,
15,
he'll
16
probably have some
points.
good games here and there.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, he will. He will. Yeah.
Yeah, before this Harden trade, he's had some great games. I mean, he's had some 30+ point games. So hopefully
True.
he won't probably get those, but like you said, 16, 20 points would be good enough. And the efficiency, that's what we like about Tobias, the efficiency. So if he gives us
Maybe
those,
something like 16 points, 6 rebounds, maybe.
yeah,
Maybe 2 3-pointers a game, and then good efficiency. The steals, the blocks, they will come and go. That's what you can expect from him. Of course, not the Tobias that you would want, but it's okay. I mean, that's the best he can be right now.
And we talked about Vanderbilt yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the other day, I think. Monk didn't start, so
And
hold, right?
Hold in 14 teams. Hold in 12 team. I'll give it another day because another game because Carmelo is back. He's a buy player, by the way, in our buy player list. And if Monk is gonna come off the bench and he'll be together with Carmelo, that's not gonna be good for him.
Yeah.
If you watched the game earlier, Carmelo was taking awful shots. I mean, really bad shots. Really
the
bad.
last shot.
Yeah.
I don't get it. He was what 2 feet, 3 feet from the 3-point line, and there was what 5-6 seconds left on the clock. I mean, he just shot it, and I don't know, with a defender on him, which was
and you
annoying.
know what's bad? What's bad about it? Monk is the guy who was doing that before. Now he has Carmelo, who's a veteran, who will be doing that now. He cannot have two players who's gonna take bad shots left and right.
That was
so
really
that's
a bad shot. I mean, I watched that final few seconds, and that was a bad shot. I mean, he could have drove the ball and create something. I mean, but I guess that's old Carmelo. The new Carmelo doesn't do that anymore. And Monk could have drove the ball, I would think.
But Monk was rested, I think, by the end. I don't know if it was. They played Austin Reeves actually. Austin Reeves started.
But Austin Reeves is quite. It's okay. I mean, he's good. He's not bad.
Yeah.
But he's. But Carmelo. So Carmelo's an ad.
For me, yeah. 14 teams, not in standards, but in 14 teams, he's an ad. He was an ad before getting injured. He was in rosters before he got injured, and that was.
But before he got injured, he was bad too.
Yeah, well, not as good. But when Anthony Davis doesn't play, his numbers are up because as you can see, he's the guy who's they're posting up. I
Yeah.
mean, he's the only other guy aside from LeBron and well,
See, they
AD.
can
Well,
post
AD
him
is out.
up. Why didn't he post up a while ago? I mean,
Oh well,
Lakers.
and that's I don't know. I don't
Though,
know.
though Lakers didn't got a bad call a while ago. The replay
Yeah,
about that replay thing. Or it was a correct call though, but it was not supposedly the challenge that was being challenged by the Clippers. Anyway,
and
that's a real basketball discussion, but yeah, it's still quite unlucky for the Lakers there. Yeah, feel good. Let's talk about a few who Harrell has been good off the bench. Uh,
Harrell is a different man in Charlotte. 19-9, something like that,
yeah,
and 50, 60 something percent shooting. So it's Harrell of old. Harrell of old.
and like you said, the Hornets in our DFS episode is ramping up their defense. Top
Yeah.
five in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
No. Top five in the whole of February.
See, and that's
So
with Harrell there. I mean, not much has
yeah,
changed really, other than maybe Harrell. Not much personnel changes. So yeah, I feel good. Another good pick for me, Harrell. Another
yeah.
pick that I really like early on. Who else? Chuma played well, had a great game. Yeah, you talked about Maxi, Jalen Green. Let's talk about Jalen Green. Jalen Green or Jalen Suggs?
Man, that's a tough. Jaden Green has played well enough that will make that question a tough answer. But I'd go with Green right now. I would go with Green right now.
Is
Suggs
Suggs a drop?
close. I'm close to dropping Suggs. The turnovers,
Today he had
the
6 fouls and
percentages.
6 turnovers.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's tough. That's tough. And Cole Anthony's not going away anytime, so he's not gonna get. I mean, all the. I mean, if you get 6 turnovers, at least give me 8 assists. 15
right?
points, 7
Well,
rebounds,
he was in
something
foul
like that.
trouble.
Three
He was
steals.
in foul trouble. I think
Yeah,
first quarter he
yeah.
had 3 fouls. But still, when you're in foul trouble, at least don't give me six turnovers. I mean, you probably won't get 8 assists, 7 assists, but don't give me 6 turnovers. That's double whammy for me.
I have high hopes for Suggs. He was playing well, but
Yeah, he did
lately
when he came back.
started to slow down a bit. And Jalen Green actually has been quietly shooting the ball better, up to 47, 48%. That's good enough. I mean, he
Yeah,
has one steal a game. So yeah, Jalen is looking better, and Suggs has more competition. I'll just put it that way. Jalen really doesn't have anybody there. He's gonna start. He's gonna be given the chances more than
yeah.
Suggs, I think.
And they're gonna develop him. I mean, Suggs, they're gonna develop him, but they have a lot of players to develop there as well. He's not
Cole
the youngest guy there. They have Cole. Um, Chuma is. I mean, who are their
playing well.
guards? Chuma's been
Well,
playing well. He's
Hampton,
not. Yeah, RJ
RJ
Hampton is not.
Hampton,
It's not a veteran who would just sit there. They'll probably want to develop him as well. So yeah, there's a lot of players. So I guess Gary Harris is the only guy who's disposable, or you can sit and rest just to showcase
and
some of your guys. But
hopefully at some point maybe this guy Markel Fultz will come back, right? I mean that's possible.
yeah, don't
So
give fantasy managers hope. They might go add Markel Fultz at this.
well, another news we didn't talk about was Oladipo. He's gonna be back the
Yeah.
second week of
So is
March, but
Oladipo an ad?
no,
Why not?
no. Uh,
Is he
Well, if
that
you have
bad?
an IL, yeah. If you have an IL, I'll put him there. But you really trust someone who hasn't played what? In how many seasons hasn't he played at all to be fantasy relevant? I really find it hard to see him get a lot of minutes in the Miami rotation. I mean, where will he fit there? He'll probably be what, a backup point guard of Lowry or something. I
Well,
mean,
true.
I
Yeah.
I don't see a high upside for Oladipo.
Yeah. So yeah, there. Oh, that's all. That's all we have for today here at Fantasy Benchwarmers, our quickie, and tomorrow Sunday. Tomorrow Sunday. So 2 days
Yeah,
left before this long week 18 ends, and for some of you guys, it's the finals next week, or I mean, the playoffs next
playoffs.
week. So we'll have different discussions next week because this is where ad drops come in handy. I mean, will make a big difference in if you winning because trades would not be an option anymore. So adding and dropping more movements, how to save your ad drops, making
Yeah,
sure you're on top of your schedules, your player schedules, because of the players you add or drop. You don't want to add player and then, you know, he only has one game and 2 days rest after, right? So that's gonna be something that going to be a challenge, especially if your team is handicapped. I mean, lots of big name players injured recently. OG, we talked about Anthony
hmm
Davis, Chris Paul. You might have gotten to the playoffs at that point with them playing, and now they're out of your lineup, so you have to make some adjustments to win your playoffs. All right. So yeah, that's it for today in our daily fantasy quickie, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys.